just recording because I'm having fun. I don't know. Suddenly things are looking up. And I really feel like I have a new lease on life. I don't know. The city is really providing. And I'm feeling good. Playlist is also hitting. Okay, hi. I'm hiking up this hill to go to a cafe called Third Wheel, which happens to be actually a cafe that is a client of mine for work, but completely unrelated to that. Basically, like, the brother of a friend works there and has seen a few of my shows and asked if I would be interested in writing a play for the anniversary of this cafe, to which I said yes, I would be very interested. So we are going to meet about that now. And this morning I also met with my friend Aron in Stockholm to talk about a potential piece that we're working on together, which is just in its early stages of taking shape, but will possibly be kind of play that takes place across San Francisco and Stockholm. So if and when that happens, I will let you, all my friends in Sweden, know where and when. So more on that as information becomes available. Those are not your brothers. I'm currently sitting in the Panhandle Park, and I am working on some notes for this play that I mentioned yesterday. It's now Thursday, August 6th. Anyway, so I'm working on some notes for this play that I had a meeting about yesterday, and I don't think I followed up on this afterwards, but it is indeed not for the anniversary of this space. It's just free reign, basically. I hope you've been able to hear me. But anyway, following up on the meeting that I had yesterday about this play. So it's not for the anniversary of the cafe. It is just an independent project, basically, because this friend works there and has access to the space and saw this play that I did on Halloween and wants to really liked that play and wanted to do something, and basically realized that he had access to the space. So that's great, because I was originally thinking, like, oh, is this going to have to address in some way like this coffee shop or like the anniversary or something? But no, the answer is it does not need to do that in any way, which is great because it gives me a lot more free reign. So I had a long morning this meeting for work, and now I've come to the park and I'm working on kind of like preliminary writing, and I'm realizing that like a big part of the process is before I even get to like the story, I'm trying to like think about the confines of the space, because it's a pretty small space and we'll have to stage things with like a particular focal point. And so there are these big windows that I'm thinking about how to use, and as I'm thinking about how we can leverage the windows, some kind of a form of story is coming into being. So that's exciting. And yeah, I feel like I'm making good progress. I was supposed to have another writing meeting today for this screenplay that I'm working on, but we have pushed that to Tuesday of next week, which I'm really relieved about because I am overwhelmed and I feel like I just needed some time to take a breather, even though I'm obviously working on other things. It just felt like I could really use some more time because I have a lot of projects on the go right now. So that this is pretty exciting because I've been working on putting together this sort of like preliminary pass at what is essentially like a theater company, which is called Tremendous Tremendous. And this play that I'm now working on will be the first official Tremendous Tremendous production. And it's really exciting because it feels like things are progressing naturally in the sense that like people, like the person who brought me in to do this play, like he will be the listed producer of this play. I've never had a producer. But he's really excited about that, and it just feels like we're like growing the armature for this project. And then my friend Connie is working on developing like a brand identity, and she's an excellent designer, so that's really exciting. And she keeps coming to me with like ideas, and it feels like I've hit on the right thing because I'm not the only one who's excited about this. Like from the moment that I started talking about this project to other people, it felt like it kind of like struck a nerve in a really positive way, where so many people basically everybody that I've talked to about this has been like, oh, I want something like this. Like I want to be involved with something like this. And so it feels like there's other people who are meaningfully contributing to it and like keeping it alive, not just me. If it was just me pulling this thing along by myself, I feel like it would probably die out pretty quickly. But because there are other people who are like engaged and wanting to contribute and wanting to keep it going, it's feeling like it sort of like spreads the burden out a little bit more, which is good. And then on the 22nd of August, so in like I guess 2.5 weeks, I'm leading a writing workshop, which is like the first official Tremendous Tremendous event. And it's a 3-hour long workshop in which the idea is that like people are going to work together in like either pairs or small groups to write micro plays, which is like a term that I've coined, but it's basically like a micro play is anything from like 2 lines to 10 pages, because a 10-minute play is like a standard format, but a micro play I don't think is really a thing. But I just want to like there's a bug on my arm. I want to empower people to write dialogue and create performances. So far we have 6 people registered for the workshop, which is very exciting, and I'm sure more people will just register. The capacity is 15. But as more people register, I'm like starting to get really excited about just like this group. I'm like, oh my God, wait, this is so fun. Like I can't wait to hang out with all these people and like play around with them, and then also like lead this workshop. And I'm thinking about how I'm going to structure the workshop. So there's definitely wind in my sails. And then I also officially declined my place on the performance studies course in Stockholm like 2 days ago, which it's honestly pretty late for me to have finally done that. And it feels pretty surreal, I think. Like I definitely didn't think that this is the choice that I was going to be making, to like stay in San Francisco and not go do that course. But over the course of the summer, as I was thinking about whether or not, or like as I was sort of thinking about the process of moving and doing that, it kept occurring to me that like it felt like the most urgent thing for me to do was to create theater and like really be working with people. And I feel like one big thing that's been missing for me since returning home is like the abundance of like performance and theater available in Stockholm. Like it feels like from the absolute most DIY to Black Box to like Dramaten, like Royal Dramatic Theater, there's so much there, and that just doesn't exist here. But in saying that also means that there's like a really big opportunity for someone to create that, and I've decided that I want to take my shot at making that happen. And so that's what's happening now, and we'll see. Obviously, Sweden is still going to remain like a big part of my life, and as I mentioned yesterday, I'm working on a piece with my friend Aron that's going to take place in Stockholm and San Francisco like simultaneously, basically. So if I think back to like 3 years ago, even, or I was thinking back like 5 years ago, my life is actually so different in many ways, and I've like done so much in this time. Like 5 years ago, I'd never written a play. I hadn't even written a short story. Like I kind of like had a point of view on what I wanted to do, but the means to like make that happen, or having actually executed on that in a real way, was still so nascent. And now I have written a novel, written, produced, and directed multiple plays, like established myself and continue to get more and more sophisticated in terms of the work that I'm doing. Also, Sweden and Swedish was not even a part of my life 5 years ago, really. Now it's like my second home and my like second base, which is incredible. And like I was just even looking at like my Instagram story recently and looking at who had viewed my story, and like so many people, so many friends, so many people like that are in my orbit now are in Sweden. And you know, making this piece with Aron is something that I could have only dreamed of even like 2 years ago or whatever. So progress is definitely being made, and sometimes it happens in unexpected ways or in unexpected directions, but I actually do feel like right now this is a good place to be. And like I think that there's actually a lot of opportunity here in San Francisco for what I'm doing, just because there's so much space to do it. And I can see that like my neighborhood is changing for the better. Like new stores are opening that feels like there's new energy. And yeah, I think I'm always going to feel a little bit sad about like not taking the bigger leap, because I'm a person that likes to leap, but I have to remind myself that I'm actually like making big progress here. My job is also like taking an interesting, positive, and engaging turn. So yeah, I definitely feel like a sense of loss about deciding to not do the program in Sweden, but I do actually feel optimistic and motivated and energized by what's happening here, and I'm very busy now. So I think it's just about like keeping that going and not spending too much energy thinking about like what could have been, and just focus on what can be, and continuing to build towards a vision of my life that I'm excited about and proud of, because I think that's like the most important thing. So that is the update for today. I'll catch you later. Bye. It is 5:35. So it's been about, God, has it only been like 3 or 4 hours since I last talked? It's possible. I'm so tired. After I last recorded, I went for a little walk in the Haight-Ashbury. If you're not familiar with San Francisco, that's where there are a bunch of thrift stores, and I've been on a new clothes for me kick. Anyway, didn't find anything, but then I went to the bookstore, and this is like definitely not my preferred bookstore. The vibes are just off, but it turns out this bookstore, which is not my favorite, they have a pretty good drama selection, and I found 2 incredible things. So first of all, I found Fleabag, the one-woman show, which is perfectly timed because I had been wanting to read this, and I like found a weird PDF online. Whatever, I'm happy to have this because I want to read up on that. But also Fleabag, the show, the like TV show, is I think one of like the most brilliant pieces of modern comedies, particularly the 2nd season. The editing is so good, the writing is so good, it's awesome. Then I was looking on the shelf and I came across this, Oh Mary, which is hugely popular right now, and is coming to San Francisco in October, actually, and hopefully I'll go see it. But I always find that it's like, I mean, I'm kind of hemmed and hawed because I was like, do I want to spoil this for myself because I haven't seen this yet? But I find that from a writing perspective, production perspective, it's really helpful to read scripts and not just see shows. I think as a writer, it makes writing feel so much more accessible because it's just like on the page. You just see what work is like on the page. And reading this, I was like laughing out loud, truly like laughing. I don't know if I had a laugh a page, but it was close. But also like this script in its printed form is 43 pages. So it's actually extremely short. Like, look how thin that is. So reading work for me always is super empowering because I'm like, I could do that. It doesn't have to be the most complicated, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, you just see this and think, cool. And that's essentially what happened. So I've read this whole thing. I mean, it didn't take me very long. It's 50 pages. And then as I was coming home, I was thinking about this play that I mentioned earlier that I had been like sketching out the kind of general shape of. And I just started hearing, I don't know, this is how I write. Like I start just like hearing these snippets of dialogue or whatever. Started to kind of just have the idea crystallize of like who these characters are and how they relate to each other. And then I just sat down at my laptop, like literally like tossing my stuff off of me as fast as I can manage, sat down at my laptop, opened a blank note as soon as I could, because it was just like, I'm already like hearing this stuff. I need to just like get it out as quick as possible so I don't forget. And I basically like sketched this whole new play, and there's some dialogue that needs to be filled in still, but like all the beats are there essentially. So yeah, basically wrote a first draft of a new play. And then my mom called me and I just proceeded to lie on the couch and be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm definitely pushing right now. Like I keep being like, I don't want to burn myself out. But also I think when I'm in a mode as I am currently, where it's like, clearly the energy is flowing, I have to just obey and follow that energy. And yeah, it doesn't come around all the time. So I feel like when it comes, I have to abide in a way. But this is very exciting because it means that now I know what the play is that I'm staging in October. And I just need to like work on fleshing out the dialogue. I'm not sure yet how long it's going to be. My sense is maybe 30 minutes, which also will be my longest play to date, actually. But it will be one act, I think. We'll see how long it ends up being. I don't know. I'm excited though. So that's good. It feels really good to just like kind of bang something out, and it feels like it's like incremental progress in terms of building on stuff that I'm either working on right now or stuff that I've recently written. So that's good. I'm actually so tired though. I just want to like melt into a puddle. I'm not changing. It's still a video, so you're actually allowed to move. Oh! He's like, no. He's like, come at me. Yeah, I'm locked in. Oh, wow. Gen Z angle. Good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to a cafe to meet Connie, my friend Connie. Because we're going to work on some branding for Tremendous, which is the theater company project that I'm working on. So this should be nice. And this cafe is really, feels like it's like lost in time. Like it was created in 1996 and nobody's touched it since, which is pretty sweet. So I'm on my way there now. It's a very gray morning, which is just not very summery, as you can see, but a classic for San Francisco. I'm on my way to an opening at my friend Graham's gallery, The Last Straw, out here in the outer sunset. Och jag vill meddela lite grann. Jag lyssnar på Sommaren i P1 just nu på Alexander Ekmans avsnitt. Och jag vet inte när det vaknar någonting i mig. Det känns att jag har lagt så mycket tid på att tänka på vad fan jag ska göra med hela Sverige-situationen. Men en sak vet jag riktigt klart. Och det är att jag fan älskar svenska. Jag älskar mitt svenska jag. Och fy fan, jag ska inte förlora det. Jag ska hålla det. Jag ska tillbaka så snart som möjligt. Det är ju en fett viktig del av mitt liv. Och fan, men vad jag typ brinner för det i alla fall. Snart framme så ska dra, men ville bara säga att jag känner mig lite stolt över mig själv. Jag vet inte, det är ju bara en så viktig del av mig själv att jag inte kan kasta bort. Jo då. Hej då. I'm trying to fabricate summer feeling because the weather outside right now, I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Yeah, it's like that. Fog. But can't let that hold us back. We must persevere in the pursuit of having a summer. So that's what I'm doing. I'm off to meet my friend Wendy in Alamo Square Park, which is where the houses, the famous painted ladies' houses from Full House are. Anyway, we're gonna go meet there and catch up. I haven't seen her in a bit, and yeah, looking forward to it. It also should be a bit warmer over there than it is where I am. Something fun that I did recently is that I ordered myself some cards, business cards, kind of, because I want to meet people. Like, you know, I want to meet people in the city, and I feel like when you see someone who looks cool, there's never like a good way to approach them. So I made a little business card. So this is on one side, and then on the other side is my name and phone number. So it feels fun to be armed with this as a tactic.